But because of how he played in scrims, running it down against the NA teams, I was told by industry insiders, they say that he divided the team and the practice, supposedly the coaching staff of G2, and apparently in Carmine Corp, because apparently he just thought Yellow Star wasn't good. I have heard a little story, supposedly. People have told me, supposedly I was told, and supposedly Rekkles said outside. Now I was told, so people told me, so supposedly he played Kaiser a whole week of scrims. Supposedly Rekkles was like, and so I was told the team just lost hope in him. But actually I was told, they say he was just introverted. I'm told he didn't contribute in VOD reviews. Supposedly, I was told that he can lose you draft even if you do what you want. So many options. They can do a draft that beats you.
Say that's why it was. He's winning scrims. He'd be like, I can play Callistic because we runner. He played apparently 3 games of Karma. He played Zaya, a Varus skin on their driving license the year before. So he did it this year. And that's so good. There are 2 stars on the game.
So I waited a day to let the dust settle and appropriate people to react before making this video. While most of my normal news content is relatively unbiased, the hit piece explored in this video was created with malicious bias, and so it only feels fair to address it as such. I am also well aware that bringing attention to the situation is what the creator of the hit piece wants, but in making this video, I aim to antagonize that attention with the support and awareness it generates for Rekkles. I began learning about this situation when I saw this post on Reddit by C9 Babkus from Cadrill's sub, Pedro's Peepos. It outlines the supportive and mature conduct from Cadrill's fans, affectionately known as the Rats, in their support of the team and Rekkles on stream yesterday. But support Rekkles for what? Did something happen? Earlier yesterday, controversial esports journalist Thorin released a trailer of sorts that revealed he was dropping a video showing Rekkles over the past 13 years of his career in a light that, quote, you don't know him like the people who are around him, alluding to some kind of expose piece he had made. After learning of the forthcoming piece on him, Rekkles, who has publicly disclosed his own mental health battles in the past, said on stream that he would not be participating in Los Ratones public scrims later that day due to overwhelming anxiety. Learning about the video literally sent him into a spiral. Here is the clip.
The longest time. I've had people come and go with their bad feelings towards me, but Thorin has always had it from day one till now. So I would expect this video to be painting me in the worst light possible. I do not know what is in it. I don't want to watch the trailer. I'm not gonna watch the video, but I have extreme anxiety right now, like to the point where I can barely speak. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop the stream here and I'm gonna tell the guys I cannot scrim today, and then we'll see tomorrow how I feel and we reassess everything. But yeah, the day is here. I've been dreading this day ever since I heard about this video. It is what it is. Can't do much.
Cadrill, who had subbed for Los Ratones before, subbed in, but even though Cadrill is a challenger player, he's not a professional support main like Rekkles. Among other reasons, Thorin's piece on Rekkles causing him to bow out would actually have a ripple effect, with the team going 1-4 in their scrim block for the day, Los Ratones' worst scrim result yet. This also led to minor tension on the team, as shown in this clip of Nemesis disclosing mistakes and draft issues following the scrim block.
Good night.
How are we complaining about this draft? I can't understand it, bro. This is such an odd draft and it's the perfect Zilan game. I would so happily play Zilan top this game. I just don't understand it. Like, he doesn't see the picture. I don't know how. His champion hard counters 4 of their characters. It is so broken with Jarvan, with Jhin, with Syndra. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, IMO, we got lucky that I smurfed this draft and called the Zilan, because if I didn't do that, holy shit, our Nexus would explode at minute 0.
The video Thorin released was 1 hour and 47 minutes long, and I watched it so you don't have to, but I honestly found it really hard to focus because it was just 100 minutes of ranting with only a couple of screenshots of public articles shown in the last 10 minutes. The rest is hearsay. I was expecting some text messages or Discord screenshots or some footage or something at least. It was made in sections discussing different aspects of Rekkles and his alleged professional or personal conduct across his career. I'm going to give a very brief synopsis of each section with relevant clips because I'm sure you can just skim through his video and get a feel for what it's like. After this part breaking down Thorin's video, I'm going to go over what some people who were mentioned in Thorin's video had to say in response to it as well. Weirdly enough, the video starts with a clip of Perks introducing Thorin's YouTube channel. When asked about it, Perks said the clip was 5 years old and he's on neither side, Rekkles or Thorin's. This is only really relevant to get Perks' current stance on the both of them. Now, here's the kicker. After the intro, Thorin says he's never actually met or spoken to Rekkles in any context.
But I'll just say at the outset, I don't know Rekkles. I have never met him, although he must have been at the studios when I went in like 2014, for example, but he's quite a private person. I've never spoken to him in any context, public public or private.
Strong preface. Why does this guy have such a hate boner for him then? He follows that up by saying he spoke to people around him, such as teammates, coaches, people within organizations through his whole career, and he's never had this many sources talk to him about a story in his whole career. Thorin then asks the rhetoric, why hasn't anyone spoken about his behavior before answering by saying there was a conspiracy of silence around Rekkles' behavior, because people were either afraid of the backlash due to his fan appeal or thought what would they even have to gain from speaking up about it. Another reason is players would be scared that they might have to play with him again in the future. Also, internal staff would allegedly be overly accommodative due to his popularity and draw for brand deals. He then calls Rekkles a few names like liar, fraud, and crybully, which apparently is someone who bullies people but then cries to authoritative figures to get them on their side before backlash can happen. He then speaks over Rekkles' competitive resume for contextual purposes. Then, the first section of the video, Rekkles' personality, is introduced. He prefaces this section by acknowledging Rekkles' autism diagnosis, but chooses not to comment on it, which is kind of odd considering this whole section of video and many times throughout the entirety of the video is just flaming Rekkles' personality, but not commenting on a major reason why his personality in certain situations may be that way. A lot of it is also particularly before Rekkles himself even knew about his autism diagnosis. Among other things, he said Rekkles doesn't have many friends and enjoys his solitude with quite a small support network, but when he does connect with someone, he is at his most comfortable. He then says, shocker, Rekkles' image is everything to him. Quote, not winning in League of Legends, just his image and perception of him in League of Legends. He says this has caused him to often tweak things about his outward appearance to try and discover his identity, like new hair or tattoos, as if we all haven't done those kind of things. Quote, it's like he was trying to destroy Mutton and create Rekkles. He then accuses him of being a KDA player, saying he's sociopathic, has no personal accountability, and he's very selfish and ego-driven. Then, honestly, the next sections of manipulation, playing style, personal life, boot camp stories, tournament stories, team stories, and off-season are just a one big continuous rant. Here are a few clips stitched together just to give you an idea of what the other hour and 25 minutes are like.
In the era when you could TP bot whenever you wanted, it became a massive meta component to set up those ganks in the bot lane. So if the enemy just set up to try and dive bot, he would always just leave the tower and just sit in the Rekkles bush. Even if, by the way, by dying, he could have gotten multiple kills or saved the wave lane and lane state, he would give up plates all the time, and he was way too scared to die under the tower or trade. He just didn't want to die or be seen to have died in the game. They say he was good at knowing what to do when he had a lead when he was in G2. By the way, he was best when he was on Senna or a supportive champion. He'd be good at the mid game, knowing what to do. But they say it was incredibly hard if he was on a hyper carry because he doesn't ask for resources, so people can't play around him. Meanwhile, think about someone like Hans Sama. They say if Hans Sama gets ahead, he wants his jungle to permanently be on his side so bot can move as 3 and he doesn't lose his lead. In Carmine Corp, they say he wouldn't even go and take a mid wave so the other team couldn't end. If he thought in Carmine Corp the fight didn't look good, he'd say, I don't think it looks good, and go out of the fight, which would just demotivate all the teammates that were going in and trying to fight and take the fight that they're all agreeing to do.
If you didn't already get that from the intro. I also want to note that the first piece of evidence bar a match history screenshot is at the timestamp of 1 hour and 35 minutes in a 1 hour and 47 minute video, and it's a screenshot of a public website. Furthermore, a lot of the references he makes to Rekkles' playstyle, he just speaks on what supposedly happened without actually backing up what he says with the relevant clip or any source. I'm not really sure if it was just laziness or they plainly just don't exist. I also want to add that I'm actually pretty sure some of these things would have happened, but if you're going to do a condemning piece of work like this, I'd be having evidence. I understand sometimes sources don't want to have their names attached to these kind of things, but it's the same thing throughout the entire video. It also kind of pisses me off that Rekkles is just over there minding his own business, and then because of the power that Thorin has with this video, sends him into an anxious spiral and he just gets to come in and rock the boat for no reason. I really don't know what this guy's obsession with Rekkles is. Throughout this video, many players and their supposed interactions and relationships with Rekkles are mentioned, as well as supposed issues Rekkles had or would cause. One of which being he would never play a champion unless he had, quote, 50 games on it, according to Thorin. Later in the video, Thorin then says Rekkles first picks Corki in a game. And have I even mentioned that this video covers the span of the last 13 years of Rekkles' career? He's 28 now, so that started when he was 15. Bro, I was the biggest dickhead when I was 15. Everyone is when they're kids. Of course people are going to make mistakes. Also, especially when dealing with fame from an early age, with a sprinkle of undiagnosed autism. Following the release of the video, some players mentioned in Thorin's video have spoken up about their actual non-hearsay relationship with Rekkles. Firstly, let's hear what Bwipo has to say, past teammate of Rekkles in the LEC.
Look, I'm gonna, like I said, I reached out personally to Rekkles. If he needs anything, I will be there for him. I do not want to speak on it because I think simply weaponizing someone's humanity against them is folly. is what I think. He is human. I know that very well because I judged him for it in the past. I judged him for what made him different, and I came to accept what made him different over the years that we played together. And as a result, I have had one of the most genuine, kind, and upstanding people that I've ever been able to work with in my life.
Next, Broxah. Again, past teammate in the LEC.
Why is this? Oh my lord.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop the stream here, and I'm gonna tell the guys
Oh,
I cannot
no.
stream today.
I don't
And
like
we'll
this.
see tomorrow how I feel, and we reassess everything. But yeah, the day is here. I've been dreading this day ever since I heard about this video.
No.
That's what it is.
Fuck's sake. Thorin, why? Why? I think it's safe to say, I know Rekkles most, or better, than most people in esports. I know the guy extremely well. I've been very close to him during both some of the greatest, as well as, presumably, most heartbreaking moments of his career. We went through all sorts of shit together, good and bad. And there's no way creating a video with the mere intention of destroying him is reasonable in any way, shape, or form. He's not perfect. He's made errors. He's made mistakes over the years. So have I. We all do. But you know what I liked about him? He always gave it his all. He always tried to be there for you, to be there for the team, and to be a good person. Even now, despite in the past at times having difficulty with putting himself out there, streaming, sharing his perspectives and things, he streams a lot. He probably streams more than I do right now. Every single time you tune in, he's nice, he's respectful, he's positive. So why are you going back, talking to some randoms that think they know him, trying to pull back stuff that happened 5-10 years ago, just to make him sad and miserable? Like, is this really how far you want to go for views? You gotta be fucking kidding me. This stuff makes me really mad. It makes me really mad.
And here is what Selfmade had to say on Twitter. Mental problems ain't a joke. It's a thing you'll never understand if you've never experienced it yourself. Hopefully you won't. As a former Rekkles teammate, who cares how someone behaves on his worst days as long as he delivers when he has to? Next, other professionals that work or have worked with Rekkles, like his editors, saying, quote, he's genuinely one of the best human beings they've ever worked with. Or one of his old player managers, saying he was a great guy, very friendly and easy to work with. Or an LEC referee, saying Rekkles was lovely, but Thorin was sexist. And among all the insane amount of criticism this video has, with at the time of recording over 13,000 dislikes, like 99% of the comments under it are defending Rekkles and flaming Thorin. The best summary I could find was from Psycho on Twitter in these tweets. Quote, I watched the whole thing, and here's my take. Not worth a watch, no clips, proof, or screenshots. Everything is, quote, I heard, with no evidence. Contradicts himself repeatedly. Even if true, it's irrelevant. Shaming someone for past mistakes when they were vulnerable is wrong. People grow and change, and Rekkles doesn't deserve hate for who he was during tough times if he truly changed for the better, which he is showcasing on Caedrel's team that he has. Even just from a content creator standpoint, it is completely stale and boring. You're telling me this was years in the making and you couldn't even be bothered adding some clips, a storyboard, timeline, or anything else to add entertainment value. It's just a guy talking with camera on. I was legit fighting to make it through the video. That's actually how I felt as well earlier today. Outside of Thorin's video, I didn't find one person publicly backing anything he had said on any media, which to be fair, not many people wanted their name attached to their recollections, but you'd think if he was this big of a problem in the pro scene, there'd be reinforcement to some degree. Since leaving Scrims, Rekkles has yet to comment or appear on any media, but of course, I'll be sure to tell you when he does, so be sure to subscribe to not miss anything. Thanks for watching.